Hey there, Minorcan Navy, Cap Mandy coming to you again back over at the site of the Pinova Fire. The Brunswick Fire crews were still on scene. This is day 4 after the blaze, and the fire department is still on site. Got another couple drone shots here of the damage to this tank farm on the property and where the fire was originating from. And it's kind of funny when you go back and you fly the drone a few times, you tend to pick up things. And it picked up this today. It looks like a pickup truck that was a little too close. It's completely destroyed. Everything's burnt out of it. Not sure if this was a plant vehicle or a privately owned vehicle. I did notice that there was a sunroof in the top of it. And I'm not so sure that I've ever seen any plant vehicles with a sunroof in it, but I'm not saying that's not a possibility. But there is definitely a vehicle that has been destroyed on the ground, a victim of this blaze at the chemical plant. And while we're up, we could see a group of folks down on the ground in hard hats. I don't know if these are inspectors, assessors, engineers, who this is, but did see, this is the first time that we've seen personnel down around the fire area that weren't related to fire services doing suppression on the fire. Of course, while we were there, we took that opportunity to fly over the outfall across Highway 17 from the plant, where the drain, everything kind of drains off the property into the marsh, and it looks like the water has begun to clear up, but it still has issues and problems in places, and you can see where there's what appears to be some dark material along the edges of this little outfall creek leading away from the plant. But hopefully this stuff will get cleaned up or flushed out or dealt with, or whatever happens with this. We noticed there were a couple booms as we flew out. One looked like it was an absorbent boom, and the other was a containment boom. Absorbent boom being white, and the containment boom are generally orange. And we saw some of that out there, but you can see that edge of the dark coloring there, which we believe to be some of the runoff from the fire area during last Saturday's blaze at Pinova. And once you get up here to the containment area where all this takes place, where the booms were, it's a little deeper, and in this particular area, and you can kind of see where that some of that darker material has settled into this deeper pool. There's that absorbent boom, and then we can see that containment boom behind it. And we know the EPA and the Georgia Department of Resources, their environmental group, were on scene earlier in the week. We didn't see their vehicles out when we were flying this time. Not sure that they haven't been out monitoring it, but they have been on scene. This is just part of that outflow, and this is where it enters one of the bigger creeks that leads out to another larger creek. But we kind of flew down this just to take a look. You guys can take a look back at the site across the highway where all this was originating from. Well, hey, that's about all the time we've got here. We're going to continue to monitor this and see how things go here with the process of cleanup. It's a big mess. We thank you guys for watching it. If you haven't done it yet, we ask you to click on that subscribe notice. If nothing else, leave us some comments. But most of all, we want you guys to stay safe out there.